I almost bought a used Mercedes that looked flawless, until I discovered it needed nearly $6,000 in hidden repairs. That's the brutal truth about owning a Benz. It's not just the star on the hood, it's what's buried deep in the repair bills that matters. Some Mercedes models are rock-solid legends, running 250,000 miles with just routine maintenance. Others, they're engineered money pits, with costly suspensions, oil leaks, and electrical nightmares that can leave you stranded or broke. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 Mercedes models you should avoid at all costs, and 4 that are absolutely worth owning, especially if you're in your 40s or 50s, retired, or just want a luxury car that won't ruin your budget. I've gathered and analyzed hundreds of data points from the most trusted sources, including Consumer Reports, J.D. Power, and real Mercedes-Benz owners, so you don't have to sift through the noise or risk an expensive mistake. Everything in this video is backed by real-world experience and industry-proven reliability data, giving you the clarity you need before you buy. Let's kick it off with a model that looks like luxury, but behind the wheel, it's anything but. The Mercedes-Benz ML350, year 2006 to 2011. The Mercedes-Benz ML350 might look like a luxury SUV bargain, and for many unsuspecting buyers, it feels like the perfect blend of class, comfort, and capability. But once you look beyond the polished grille and plush interior, you'll find one of the most expensive ownership traps Mercedes ever made. Built between 2006 and 2011, this generation of ML350 is powered by the M272 V6 engine, a powertrain that earned a reputation for catastrophic failure due to a faulty balance shaft gear. This single issue alone can lead to engine failure before 80,000 miles, and the fix? It typically runs anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. That's not just frustrating, that's financially devastating for anyone expecting German reliability. But the engine isn't the only problem. Consumer Reports and J.D. Power consistently flagged this model for a long list of reliability concerns. Transmission issues are common, especially hard shifting and delayed gear engagement. Electrical gremlins, like dashboard warning lights that won't go away even after repairs, are widespread. And then there's the suspension. Certain trims came with air suspension systems that often fail after the warranty ends, costing thousands to replace. Add in recurring failures like window regulators and fuel sensors, and you're staring down an endless stream of maintenance bills. And by the time all these issues start piling up, the vehicle itself has usually plummeted in value, so even if you wanted to fix it, it might not be worth it. You're left holding the keys to a luxury SUV that's now worth less than the cost of keeping it on the road. That said, not every ML350 is a disaster, and I want to be fair here. Mercedes began addressing some of these problems in later model years. If you're dead set on getting one, aim for 2009 or 2010 models with full service records and proof that the engine timing components were either updated or already repaired. A well-documented maintenance history is the only insurance policy that can make this SUV remotely worth considering. And whatever you do, get it inspected by an independent Mercedes specialist, not a general mechanic. Yes, there are owners who've taken their ML350s past 150,000 miles with minimal issues, but those are the exceptions, not the norm. For most people, this SUV turns into a high-maintenance, high-cost burden just a few years into ownership. If you want the Mercedes SUV experience without the risk, your best bet is to skip the ML350 altogether and look at the GLE 350, a newer model that fixed many of the problems this one created. I'll break that one down later in the video. If you thought the ML350 was costly to keep on the road, the next SUV takes things even further. Mercedes-Benz GL 450, year 2007 to 2012. The Mercedes-Benz GL 450 was designed to be the ultimate full-size luxury SUV, a family hauler with 3 rows, V8 power, and a prestigious badge. On paper, it looked like the perfect road trip warrior for upscale households, but in reality, the GL 450 became one of the most financially punishing SUVs Mercedes has ever produced, and the data backs it up. According to Consumer Reports and J.D. Power, this generation of GL 450 scored well below average in long-term reliability, especially after the 100,000-mile mark. And it's not just one system system failing. It's nearly all of them. One of the biggest culprits? The Airmatic air suspension system, which many owners say started leaking or collapsing as early as 50,000 miles. When that happens, you're facing repairs that can easily run between $4,000 and $6,000, and that's just for suspension alone. But the pain doesn't stop there. The GL450 came equipped with the M273 V8 engine, which shares the same timing chain tensioner and balance shaft issues found in the problematic CLS 550 and early S550 models. When those parts fail, and they often do, repairs can cost thousands. Many owners also reported transmission problems, drive shaft coupling wear, and even complete powertrain failures before hitting 130,000 miles. Then there's the electrical side. These SUVs are loaded with features, but that also means more things to go wrong. Faulty liftgate motors, dead infotainment systems, and constant sensor failures are common. And because it's a Mercedes, every repair requires specialized tools and labor, which means you're not just paying for the part, you're paying for the privilege of owning one. To make matters worse, the GL450 suffers from steep depreciation. Once out of warranty, resale value drops like a rock, meaning you could spend $10,000 on repairs for a vehicle that's barely worth that much on the market. But is it all doom and gloom? Not entirely. If you're still set on buying a GL450, here's how to avoid a financial disaster. First, focus on later model years, especially 2011 and 2012, where some reliability improvements were made. Second, verify that the Airmatic suspension has already been replaced or converted to a coil spring setup. That one upgrade alone could save you thousands. And third, insist on a full pre-purchase inspection from a qualified Mercedes-Benz specialist. If the timing components, drivetrain, and electronics are solid, you might find a unicorn, but chances are you won't, and that's why this vehicle is on this list. Bottom line, the GL450 tries to deliver full-size luxury and utility, but ends up hitting owners with full-size bills and a high risk of failure. If you're looking for a reliable luxury SUV that won't ruin your retirement savings, look elsewhere. This one's a gamble most drivers can't afford to lose. Now, let's shift to a compact model that promised sporty luxury on a budget, but ended up delivering something very different. Mercedes-Benz C230 Compressor, year 2003 to 2007. At first glance, the Mercedes-Benz C230 Compressor looked like a dream come true. A compact, sporty Benz with a luxury badge and an affordable price tag. It promised the thrill of German engineering without the six-figure commitment. But for many owners, this model turned out to be a maintenance minefield in disguise. Built between 2003 and 2007, the C230 Compressor came equipped with the M271 supercharged four-cylinder engine, a powertrain that was supposed to offer both performance and fuel efficiency. But as these cars aged, a pattern of serious mechanical failures began to emerge, most notably premature timing chain failures, often before 100,000 miles. Consumer reports flagged these issues consistently, and J.D. Power reported long-term dependability problems, especially with the powertrain and electrical systems. The timing chain wasn't just a minor issue. When it failed, it could cause catastrophic engine damage, often requiring thousands in repairs. And it didn't stop there. The supercharger system, one of the C230's key selling points, was prone to early wear, oil leaks, and sensor faults, often leaving owners with reduced performance and steep shop bills. And then there's the interior. The C230 Compressor's cabin didn't age well. Buttons and trim pieces faded or peeled, seat leather cracked prematurely, and the overall build quality felt more economy class than executive. For a luxury brand like Mercedes-Benz, this level of interior degradation was a major letdown, especially when compared to competitors from Lexus and Acura during the same era. What made things worse was the vehicle's resale value, which tanked hard once these issues became widely known. Buyers who thought they scored a deal often found themselves stuck with a car that was expensive to fix, hard to sell, and constantly throwing new problems their way. That said, some owners have managed to make the C230 Compressor work, but only with religious maintenance. If you already own one, it's absolutely essential to do frequent oil changes, monitor timing chain wear, and address minor issues immediately before they become major ones. Skipping service intervals or ignoring dashboard lights is a fast track to engine failure. Now, here's the good news. Mercedes learned from their mistakes. The C-Class that followed, the W204 generation, built from 2008 to 2014, was a dramatic improvement in every way. It dropped the problematic supercharger setup, infused favor of naturally aspirated and turbocharged engines that were significantly more reliable. The interior quality was also much better, and long-term dependability scores improved across the board in both J.D. Power and Consumer Reports. Bottom line, the C230 Compressor is a cautionary tale. It may wear the Mercedes badge, but under the surface, it behaves more like a high-maintenance economy car than a premium sport sedan. If you're shopping for a compact Mercedes on a budget, skip this generation entirely and aim for a W204 instead. You'll get the prestige without the painful repair bills. Now that we've covered the Mercedes models that can wreck your wallet, let's switch gears. Not every Benz is a gamble. Some are shockingly reliable, affordable to maintain, and backed by real data. Here are the 4 best Mercedes-Benz cars you can actually own without regret. Let's begin with the Mercedes-Benz EClass W212, year 2010 to 2016. If you're looking for that rare Mercedes that blends luxury, reliability, and long-term value, the W212 E-Class, built from 2010 to 2016, is the gold standard. This generation hit the sweet spot where old-school Mercedes durability met modern refinement. It's often referred to by seasoned mechanics as the last truly overbuilt Benz, and once you drive one, you'll understand why. At the heart of the W212 is the M276 V6 engine, a massive improvement over the older M272 that was notorious for balance shaft failures. The M276 is smoother, more efficient, and most importantly, far more reliable over the long haul. According to Consumer Reports and J.D. Power, this generation scores well above average in long-term dependability, particularly in drivetrain, interior quality, and electronics. But it's not just the powertrain that makes the W212 a standout. The interior build quality is exceptional. The seats, dashboard, trim. Even after 10+ years, they hold up incredibly well. Buttons don't peel. Materials don't fade. Everything feels solid and engineered to last. In an era where most luxury cars started cutting corners, the W212 doubled down on craftsmanship. Maintenance-wise, it's relatively painless for a Mercedes, especially if you stick with the E350 trim. Basic upkeep like fluid changes, brakes, and filters will keep it running strong. Just avoid the AMG variants if you're not ready for higher performance costs. If you're buying used, go for the facelift models from 2014 to 2016. These years come with upgraded infotainment, improved safety tech, and slightly better resale value, without sacrificing the rock-solid mechanical foundation this generation is known for. In short, the W212 is one of the few Mercedes models you can buy with confidence. It delivers luxury without surprise repairs, elegance without electronic headaches, and performance without punishment. For older drivers who want a dependable daily driver with class, this is one of the smartest buys in the Mercedes lineup. Moving on to the Mercedes-Benz C-Class W204, year 2008 to 2014. If you've ever dreamed of owning a Mercedes-Benz without drowning in repair bills, the W204 C-Class might just be the answer. Built from 2008 to 2014, this generation quietly became one of Mercedes' most dependable and cost-effective models, and it's backed by hard data. According to Consumer Reports, the W204 earned solid marks for long-term mechanical reliability, especially in the C300 and C350 trims, equipped with naturally aspirated V6 engines. J.D. Power also reported a significant leap in dependability over the previous W203, particularly in the powertrain and electrical systems, two areas that often make or break luxury ownership. What makes the W204 special is that it ditched the troublesome supercharged engines of earlier models and went with the proven M272 and later M276 V6s. When maintained properly, these engines can easily pass 200,000 miles without major issues. The 7-speed automatic transmission is another win, smooth, responsive, and reliable when serviced with regular fluid changes. No weird quirks, no hidden traps. Now, if you're planning to buy one, here's the smart move. Look for a 2011 to 2014 model with service records. These years benefit from mid-cycle updates and refinements that make a big difference in both comfort and long-term ownership cost. Avoid cars that were neglected or driven hard without proper maintenance, because like any German car, how it was treated matters more than the badge. Bottom line, the W204 is the Mercedes for people who want a luxurious daily driver without entering a financial minefield. It's the kind of car you can enjoy, enjoy and actually trust well into six-figure mileage. In a lineup known for expensive surprises, this is one of the few C-Class models that won't leave you regretting your decision. Next up is the Mercedes-Benz GLE 350, year 2016 to 2019. If the ML 350 made you nervous, meet the GLE 350, the model that fixed nearly everything its predecessor got wrong. Built between 2016 and 2019, this mid-size luxury SUV finally delivered what Mercedes owners had been asking for: dependability without disaster. Let's start with the biggest win. Mercedes dropped the problematic setups that plagued the ML 350 and replaced them with a more refined formula. The M276 V6 engine under the hood is smooth, reliable, and doesn't suffer from the catastrophic balance shaft issues of older engines. According to Consumer Reports, the GLE 350 scored well above average in engine reliability and overall ownership satisfaction. J.D. Power also awarded this generation higher marks for build quality and long-term dependability, especially in the 2017 and 2018 model years. But here's where the GLE 350 really redeems itself: the suspension. Many trims come with standard coil springs instead of the infamous Airmatic air suspension. That alone slashes your long-term maintenance risk. No $4,000 compressor replacements, no sagging rear ends, just simple, dependable hardware that holds up for the long haul. Want to keep a GLE 350 running smoothly past 150,000 miles? Stick to the basics. Change the oil every 7,500 miles. Stay on top of transmission service and check cooling components around the 100,000 mark. The M276 engine is solid, but like all modern V6s, it thrives with consistent care. The best part? You don't need an extended warranty just to sleep at night. This is one of the few used Mercedes SUVs where you can drive with confidence, not dread. And if you find one with a clean maintenance history and coil suspension, you've got a mid-size luxury SUV that blends comfort, class, and reliability without the repair bills that usually come with that three-pointed star. For older drivers or families who want a safe, comfortable, and low-stress Benz, the GLE 350 is one of the smartest choices you can make. If the GLE 350 proved Mercedes can still get it right, then this last one is the grand finale, the perfect blend of old-school durability and everyday comfort. Mercedes-Benz EClass W211, year 2006 to 2009, facelift only. If you're after that classic Mercedes-Benz feel, solid, elegant, and engineered to last, the facelifted EClass W211, built from 2006 to 2009, is one of the smartest and most underrated buys you can make today. But here's the key: you must stick to the post-facelift models. Earlier versions had serious flaws that Mercedes quietly corrected in the later years. The early W211s suffered from issues like the SBC, Sensotronic brake control system, which was complicated, expensive, and unreliable. But starting in 2006, Mercedes went back to a traditional braking system, and that single change dramatically improved the car's long-term reliability. At the same time, they also revised the M272 V6 engine, addressing the balance shaft gear problems that haunted earlier builds. The result? A rock-solid executive sedan that blends comfort, safety, and true long-distance durability. According to Consumer Reports, reliability ratings improved significantly for these later models, and J.D. Power ranked them higher in powertrain and mechanical quality than previous E-Class generations. Real-world owners regularly report crossing 200,000 miles with no major issues when maintenance is done right. For anyone looking for timeless quality on a smart budget, this E-Class earns its place among the best Mercedes-Benz models you can own. At the end of the day, owning a Mercedes-Benz, or any car really, isn't just about the drive. It's about making smart decisions before you ever turn the key. Some models are built to last and deliver true value for years. Others might look the part but hide thousands in future repairs. The key is doing your research, knowing which years to avoid, and always getting a pre-purchase inspection, especially with luxury brands. I've dug through hundreds of owner reports, repair records, and expert data so you don't have to. Whether you're buying your first Benz or your fifth, this kind of knowledge can save you thousands. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, it really supports the channel. And if you want more real-world car advice, ownership tips, and buyer guides that skip the hype and get straight to the truth, make sure to subscribe. Because smart car ownership isn't just about what you buy, it's about what you avoid. So now that we've covered the best and worst Mercedes-Benz models you can actually trust, let's zoom out for a minute. Because owning a car is about more than just the badge on the hood. It's what you're paying after the purchase that really adds up. And if you're not careful, it's where most people lose the most money. Here's what you need to know to protect yourself, no matter what you drive. Most drivers think the biggest cost of owning a car is what they paid at the dealership, but in reality, that's just the beginning. What really hurts your wallet are the things you didn't plan for, hidden in your insurance policy, buried in your loan terms, or waiting in your glove box the moment a warning light shows up. And if you're not careful, you could lose thousands of dollars without even realizing it. That's right, the job title you choose can affect your premium. Some drivers save $200 a year just by tweaking the wording, switching from salesperson to account manager, or from consultant to coordinator. It sounds silly, but insurers are constantly profiling based on perceived risk, and the system isn't always logical. And then there's age. If you're over 55, you may qualify for what's called a mature driver discount, but most insurers won't give it to you unless you specifically ask. Same goes for bundling and defensive driving course discounts. They exist, but they're often hidden until you demand them. Now, what about extended warranties? You've probably been offered one, maybe pushed into one, especially if you bought a used luxury car. Dealers love them. But here's the truth. Most extended warranties aren't worth the paper they're printed on. According to Consumer Reports, more than half of extended warranty holders never actually use them. And when they do, the claim is often denied or the issue isn't covered. Why? Because a lot of these warranties are sold by third-party companies that specialize in denying payouts. If you want coverage that actually works, only consider warranties backed by the manufacturer. And even then, you need to read the fine print. Does it cover suspension, electronics, infotainment systems? Most don't. And a lot of plans quietly cut off coverage once you pass 100,000 miles, even if you're still in your contract. That brings us to electric vehicles. You've probably seen the hype. Low maintenance, high tech, better for the planet. But there's a downside nobody wants to talk about: depreciation. Electric vehicles lose value faster than almost anything on the road. According to multiple studies, including data from IC cars, cars like the Chevy Bolt, Nissan Leaf, and even the Mustang Mach-E are dropping 35% to 45% in value within just 3 years. And it's not just obscure models. Tesla's resale values are starting to slip too, especially as new models with longer range and faster charging enter the market. If you're thinking of buying an EV, your smartest move is leasing. That way you're not stuck with a car that loses half its value the moment you drive off the lot. Let the leasing company take the hit while you enjoy the tech for a few years. Now, let's talk about loans. Most buyers are focused on monthly payments. That's exactly what dealerships want. A low monthly payment looks affordable, but often it's hiding a 72 or even 84-month loan. That means you're paying for the car long after it's lost its value. And worse, you may be rolling negative equity from a previous car into your new loan, a financial snowball that just keeps growing. Always focus on the out-the-door price, not the monthly payment, and shop your financing through a credit union before you step onto a dealership lot. Credit unions often offer interest rates 2 to 3 points lower than what the dealer quotes. That can save you thousands in interest over the life of the loan. But even if you buy smart, your biggest enemy might be poor maintenance, especially if you ever plan to sell or trade in. You'd be shocked how many buyers are turned off by missing service records. It's one of the first things dealers and private buyers look for. If they don't see regular oil changes, fluid flushes, or repair receipts, they assume the worst and offer you way less. Keeping good records is simple. You don't need a filing cabinet full of receipts anymore. Take a picture of your invoice, upload it to a free app like My Carfax or Carfax Car Care, and let the app track your service history for you. It adds instant value when it's time to sell, and builds trust with the next buyer. And here's something else that's often overlooked: Depreciation curves. Some cars are worth 50% of their value after 3 years. Others still hold 60 to 70%. The difference? Brand, reliability, and mileage perception. Toyota, Lexus, and Honda consistently top the charts for resale value. So do certain Subaru and Mazda models. On the luxury side, well-kept Mercedes E-Class sedans and some Acura models actually hold value surprisingly well, especially when compared to brands like Jaguar, Alfa Romeo, and Land Rover, which can plummet in value even if they look great on the outside. If you want to keep resale strong, avoid unnecessary mods, stick to OEM parts when you can, and keep your mileage in check. Mileage perception still plays a huge role, even with modern engines capable of 200,000 plus miles. Once you cross 100K, buyers expect a price drop, but if everything's documented and well-maintained, you can still get strong offers. At the end of the day, buying and owning a car isn't just about what you drive. It's about how you manage every detail that comes with it. From your loan and insurance to how you service the vehicle and when you sell it, every decision matters. If you've learned even one tip that might save you money, make sure to like the video. And if you want more high-value insights to protect your wallet every time you hit the road, stick around, there's plenty more coming.